Once again, please be seated. On behalf of the Tohono O'odham Nation and on behalf of Albuquerque Unified School District, we thank you for this amazing opportunity for let us start our day and to bring a piece of the Tohono O'odham Nation to Pima County. Thank you, and you have a successful meeting today.
Thank you. And thank you all for taking the time to be here, sharing with us. I'm sure you have just made your families very proud. You've made all of us proud. A couple things that I just want to mention about the Babakivari School District, because I had heard some good news and some good words about the school district when we were down last in Sasabe. So a couple things I just want to point out. BUSD schools have maintained or improved the Arizona Department of Education letter grades, and the district earned a letter grade of B recently. They've also decreased absenteeism by 50% in the last 2 years, which is huge. And then also members of the Babakivari Unified School District were recognized as Teacher of the Year and Coach of the Year, and their athletic teams proudly advanced to the state finals. So congratulations. How are you doing?
Good morning.
Okay, we are now moving on to agenda item number 4, which is pause for pause.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome in. Let me know where you're signing in from today.
Chair Allen, for the record, Supervisor Hines has joined today's meeting.
Good morning, everyone. I have quite possibly the cutest little guy in the world. His name is Bunny, which makes him even cuter. What might be hard to believe is that this guy, along with another dog we're assuming is his brother, they look very similar, was a stray, like most of Pac's pets. Stray dog. He was neutered and he's very well taken care of and he loves people. So we were kind of surprised that he showed up in our care. So he serves as a good reminder that if your pet is lost, it might be at Pac. Please come to Pac first because he'll be on stray hold for 3 days and then he'll be available to adopt. So if anyone is interested in adopting him, please come to Pac and put a reservation fee and you can get first choice. He seems to be just a lovely little guy. And I wanted to take the time to also remind folks that we have the Barkin' into Spring, our new event at the end of the month on the 25th. And you can come in and just enjoy springtime events and springtime fun. We'll have some food trucks, some snacks, some fun stuff, lots of adoptions, obviously. And we also wanted to remind folks that this is kitten season and puppy season. So if you are interested in having a kitten or a puppy, it's a great time to foster because if you foster, you get first choice at mom or the babies. So, and we actually have a lot of moms and babies right now who could use a foster. So please stop by and come check it out. We have a lot of dogs in need that have $0 adoption fees, so you'd only have to pay the $20 licensing fee. So thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for joining today. The meeting's going to go a little slow.
Next item on
so
our
just hang in
agenda
with
is
us.
current events and public acknowledgements. Anyone? Well, Supervisor Cano?
Thank you, Chair Allen, and good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to welcome you to your Board of Supervisors hearing room. Last Thursday, the District 5 office concluded the 4th installment of our Love of Lakota series. It was an author series that I've talked about over the last several months where we invited 4 local authors beginning in November to join us. Over the course of that time, about 400 people joined us. 400 free signed copies of the books were distributed to our guests and to community members who joined us. We had lots of private sponsorship of the events. And I want to thank every one of our sponsors, Desert Diamond Casino, Diamond Ventures. We had Republic Services. We also had the Parklands Foundation and the Friends of Pima County Public Library. And Cox Communications as well. This took a lot of effort for us to celebrate local authors, but I'm so glad we did it. And I look forward to us continuing this signature series in District 5 in the year ahead. Thank you, Chair Allen.
So we have an event on this Friday, actually trying to get folks over to PAC and to help out the dogs. So we're doing a Walk a Dog with District 3 event. Friday, April 10th from 9 to 12 at PAC at Silverbell. We are limited in the group that can go, but we size number wise, but there's still a couple seats available. Shoot a quick note to District 3 at pima.gov if you are interested in joining us. We will be participating in Ciclovia this Sunday, April 12th. It runs from 9 to 3 p.m. Look for the District 3 team as we ride our bikes along the route through the Amphi neighborhood area downtown and are connecting with constituents from our bicycles. And then last, we will be at the Living Desert Alliance's first annual membership meeting, a meet and greet on Sunday, April 12th as well, from 1 to 3 p.m. up at Crossroad Park near Marana. Nothing else? Then we will move on to agenda item number 6, agenda adjustments.
On the regular agenda, executive session. So page 3, item 14, and then on the addendum agenda, page 1, item 3, 4, 5, and on page 2, item 7. The executive session items will be heard at a time certain of 12 p.m. Also, the executive session on the regular agenda, item 14, there is a correction to the agenda language, removing the section on Robert's Rules. On the regular agenda, page 5, item 25, under Board of Supervisors, the naming of Pima Animal Care Center Dispatch Center as Celine Ann Baker Dispatch Center. This item will be heard at a time certain of 11 a.m. On the addendum agenda, executive session, this is page 1, item 5. There is a correction to the addendum language. They are removing the statutory noted one and they're adding language for discussion and consultation related to. They're removing consideration of employment and appointment of, and then the county administrator, and then removing including the recruitment and hiring process. And then on the addendum agenda, page 3, item 13, under Board, Commission, and/or Committee, Trial Court Appointments, Nominating Committee, District 5. Supervisor Connell requests this item be removed from the agenda. Thank you.
Thank you. We have next on the agenda are the presentations and proclamations. Just a little warning, there are a few of them. So they are all important and we're going to try to move quickly. So our first is a presentation of a proclamation to the county administration proclaiming National County Government Month in Pima County.
They're all elected.
I'll move the item.
Second.
Seconded by Supervisor Scott. Discussion.
They're all
All in
elected.
favor?
Except for the
Aye.
guy.
Opposed,
On the
item
way left.
passes 5-0. Supervisor Scott, would you like to present?
Yes, ma'am.
Chair Allen, if
the-
I may. Thank you. If I'm going to ask the deputy county administrators to join me, we have 2 department directors, Dr. Cullen, I think Mr. Baca is still here, and if I may, we also have 3 of our county elected officials here. So if the superintendent of schools could join us, the recorder, and I believe the clerk of Superior Court is with us as well, clerk of the court.
So
Who
the
have I
guy
missed?
on
I'm
the
sorry,
left
and the county
that you
attorney,
just
Laura
showed.
Conover is here. Thank you.
Lauren Conover's there too. Wow.
Oh,
So the guy on the left right there, sitting up on the bench, he was appointed because Adelita Grijalva left her position. And so they appointed him. And he's like a planted candidate. He's never been elected, but he gets up there and he acts just like the rest of them. Sad.
Good morning, everybody. I am pleased to be our representative to the States County Supervisors Association Legislative Policy Committee. All supervisors are members of the County Supervisors Association. We were encouraged to put this item on the agenda. All 15 counties were, and it accompanies a proclamation from the governor regarding County Government Month. Whereas Arizona's Constitution and statutes establish county governments to implement state policies and programs at the regional level overseen by locally elected county officials in order to promote effective, responsive constituent services. And whereas county governments provide an essential role in keeping communities safe, deploying emergency response, building infrastructure, conducting secure elections, promoting public health and welfare, supporting community and economic development, and strengthening resilience. And whereas county elected officials provide leadership in serving their constituents and strengthen Arizona through collaboration with local, state, federal, and tribal partners to meet community needs. And whereas county governments proudly employ more than 35,000 hardworking Arizonans who diligently serve our communities. And whereas Arizona's 15 counties serve as trusted stewards of public resources and community institutions. And whereas Arizona counties reflect the wide diversity of people, culture, and landscape in our state. And whereas in recognition of the outstanding public service of county employees and the leadership of county elected officials across Arizona, now therefore be it resolved that the Pima County Board of Supervisors hereby proclaims the month of April 2026 to be National County Government Month in Pima County in recognition of the leadership, innovation, and invaluable service provided by all Arizona counties. Thank you all very much.
So real quickly, just so you guys know, they're all elected. The guy on the right is the only Republican in all of Pima County of all the positions that has been elected. He's the only Republican. Every single one of them up there on the bench. And this isn't political. I'm just showing you guys. That's where we're at. The guy on the right corner is at his office video conference. He's a supervisor.
Hi, my name is Gabriela Cáceres Kelly. I'm from the communities of Pismo and Coop, which are on the far west end of Pima County. I serve
the
as
one
your
who
county
controls the
recorder.
elections,
I'm the
this woman.
elected official responsible for voter registration and early voting for the county for our over 630,000 registered voters and counting. We are also responsible for public documents, and I cannot tell you enough, although it is really wonderful to serve as an elected official, we could not do our jobs without the other county departments. Even this morning, seeing facilities come up here and do Pledge of Allegiance, they had to get out of here because they have so much work to do that support all of our work. And we see that with every single county department, from finance to human resources. It's so wonderful. The number of dedicated professionals who are working to serve you is really astounding. And I'm never, ever, it never ceases to amaze me, the commitment that Pima County staff members have to ensuring that we make Pima County as great of a place to live and work. So thank you.
I'm not sure it's true. Everyone said Nanos' agenda is number 25, but back to what I was saying, every single one of these in Tucson are elected Democrats, except for the one guy in the right corner there. His name is Steve Christie. He's the only Republican voted in Pima County to office. Every single one of them is Democrat, including Nanos, including the guy who's going after him, which is the guy with the glasses in the middle, Dr. Matt Hines. It's an insider system here
The
in
next
Tucson.
item is agenda item number 8. It is a presentation of a proclamation for the week of April 16th to the 21st to be Southside Environmental Awareness and Environmental Justice Week. Jose Gaselam, Angelica Duddleston, Julia Gonzalez, Cynthia Lopez will be accepting the proclamation. I move the item.
Second.
Seconded by Supervisor Cano. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Item passes 5-0, and Supervisor Cano is ready to present.
mayor's puppet right there.
We can go on this side a bit.
Scoot you. Yeah.
As we get ready to have everybody come up, I of course want to thank the Sunnyside Unified School District Governing Board members who are present, Bobby Jaramillo, and I also want to thank Becky Quintero. Thank you for your guys' years of service to the people of Sunnyside and the South Side and District 5, and of course the superintendent, Mr. Gustellum. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Whereas Desert View High School is located within the Tucson International Airport Area Superfund site, a federally designated cleanup area established due to decades of groundwater contamination from TCE and other pollutants, highlighting the long-term impacts of chemical pollution. And whereas Desert View students conducted an original scientific investigation titled Forever Chemicals and Temporary Stand-ins, Effects of a Chemical Surfactant, how do I pronounce this? I should have, on chlorophyll production in lettuce plants, inspired by concerns about PFAS pesticides, finding that increased chemical exposure reduce photosynthetic efficiency and cause physiological stress in plants. And whereas this research helps students understand the connections, environmental contamination, food systems, public health, and affected communities, while demonstrating science empowers young people to understand and challenges and advocate for community-based solutions. And whereas partnerships between schools and local government and institutions of higher education create opportunities for students to pursue environmental science, public health, and sustainability careers while contributing to their communities. And whereas the Pima County Board of Supervisors recognizes the importance of empowering students as future scientists, leaders, and environmental stewards. And whereas the board supports the development of educational partnerships between schools, school districts, the Pima County School Superintendent's Office, Pima Community Share, local government agencies, and the University of Arizona to establish dual enrollment environmental science opportunities that prepare students for college, careers, and environmental leadership. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Pima County Board of Supervisors hereby proclaims the week of April 16th through April 21st, 2026 to be Southside Environmental Awareness and Environmental Justice Week, recognizing the importance of community education, student research, and collaborative efforts to protect environmental and public health, passed and adopted the 7th day of April 2026. Congratulations.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having us. On behalf of the Sunnyside Unified School District, we are so thankful for this recognition of our students. This is what it's all about. It's about the student experience. It's about our students getting involved with community projects like this one here with Pima County, but they can't do that without a great teacher, a great leader. And so Miss Cynthia Lopez, who's also a Arizona Teacher of the Year finalist through Arizona Athletics. Doesn't surprise me that she provides these amazing opportunities for her students. So I really want to give the mic to her to say a few things, but to the students, we're super proud of you and congratulations in representing not only Sunnyside, but your community well and doing such an important investigation here, an important project.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We're so excited to be here. We didn't know what to expect. And this project has been so completely impactful. I think for years I've been teaching students about the importance of science. But these past couple years, we've taken it to the next level, and students have found the project extremely impactful, especially meaningful. It has direct ties to their community that they're living in, to very people that they know that are living in their community. And it was founded on a history of water contamination. So that's usually where we start the project. But this year we've pushed it to include today's most relevant chemical, which is PFAS, per and polyfluoroalkyl substances. I wanted to also thank my mentors, Marianne Landreth, for helping me get started in the Community Share project. It's taken my teaching to the next level. It's given me way more passion than I had before. And students have, I think I've seen more engagement in students than have in my entire teaching career. And I also want to thank our community board members who have been invited to our classroom to share their experience. And Dustin Williams, thank you for pushing us to put this proclamation together. To be very honest, I didn't know what it was. And so it's been a very authentic learning experience for me and students. And so when we realized that this was an opportunity, we said we had to take him up on that opportunity because I've been sharing with students how important it is to elevate their voices, to speak up, and to take action using science. And that's what we're here doing today. I feel like there's so much more I want to say, but I'll keep it brief. The last thing I want to say is thank you to my students. We've been so busy and working so hard. I haven't had a chance to say thank you for trusting me and coming along on this journey because I didn't know what was going to happen or how it would end. And I'm very proud of all the work that you've done. And these ladies are my Women in STEM, part of my Women in STEM club, and they represent the best and the brightest and the most beautiful that Desert View has to offer. So thank you.
You want to say anything? Okay. We're going to take a quick picture, and I just wanted to briefly say thank you to the students. This is protecting our environment is very personal to me. It's actually how I was introduced to county government when I was my grandmother passed away from exposure to beryllium, which is a plant on the south side that she worked at, where she was exposed to it. And so I was your age, going to Department of Environmental hearings, looking at the pollutants and the samples, and that inspired me many years ago to get involved, advocate for my community, and here I am representing 200,000 people. It's a dream come true, and I hope that you find that short story as an example of all that you can do and perhaps be a county employee one day too. So thank you.
Welcome in, everybody. So as you can see, this is the dog and pony show of the local elected. They kind of, prop up all their favorite organizations that they can launder the money, our taxpayer dollars to. Here in Tucson, we're talking about Tucson. We're not talking about any other administration today. This is about Tucson. For many years, we have been taken over by climate activists, people that are very, progressive. Okay? We're to the point, if you drive around the streets of Tucson, you can't go
Next
a mile without
on the
seeing
agenda is item
some
number
sort of
9.
drug
It is a
activity.
presentation of a proclamation
Now,
proclaiming
all
the month
these
of
people
April as
elected
Fair
here that are
Housing Month in
talking
Pima County. I
are
will move the item.
Democrats.
Seconded
Now,
by
I'm not
Supervisor
saying that to
Hines.
be
Discussion.
controversial. I'm
All
giving
in
you a
favor?
fact.
Aye.
They're all
Opposed?
Democrats, except
Item
for the
passes
guy here on the right.
5-0. I am
See the
presenting
guy on
this,
the right.
and I would
He's
like
the only
to invite
Republican.
Jay Young, Executive Director of Southwest Fair
So
Housing.
this is
Council.
what I'm telling you guys about the system. Now they have turned their heads and they're attacking their own local sheriff. He's a Democrat. And here's the thing about Nanos is Nanos could really bury a lot of these people because he knows what's going on here in Pima County. He knows what the Biden administration did with Adelita Grijalva, the Mayor Romero.
Whereas the Civil Rights Act of
$120
1968
million
and the Fair
in
Housing
here
Amendments Act of
help
1988
with
ensure fair and full access to housing
undocumented
opportunity.
immigrants
And
coming
whereas April
in
2026
to
marks the
America.
50th anniversary of the
people are all
signing of the Fair Housing
responsible,
Act. And whereas shelter is a
including
basic human
Nanos.
need, and when shelter is denied, the quality of human life is greatly diminished. And whereas people must not be denied equal access to and enjoyment of housing because of race, color, national origin, religion, gender, disability, or familial status. And whereas, despite recent federal efforts to defund fair housing education and enforcement, and efforts to deny the Act's obligation to affirmatively further fair housing, the Fair Housing Act remains the law of the land. And whereas Pima County recognizes and values the efforts of those who seek to reduce barriers to full and fair housing opportunity. And whereas April is designated nationally as Fair Housing Month. Now therefore be it resolved, the Pima County Board of Supervisors hereby proclaims the month of April 2026 to be Fair Housing Month in Pima County, and encourages all Pima County residents to work for tolerance and equal housing opportunity in our community, passed and adopted this 7th day of April 2026.
Thank you so much. My name is Jay Young. I'm the Executive Director of the Southwest Fair Housing Council. It's an honor to receive this proclamation for Fair Housing Month. At the Southwest Fair Housing Council, we help people that have experienced illegal housing discrimination. So we receive over 2,000 calls and contacts from folks throughout Arizona every year. With housing issues, and a lot of them happen to be fair housing issues or issues with illegal housing discrimination. And as the proclamation says, this has been a very, very challenging time for fair housing and civil rights throughout the country. We have had funding withheld that was appropriated by Congress and actually had to lay off staff for the first time ever, and have had to go through basically suing the federal government to continue to enforce civil rights in Pima County, Tucson, and Arizona. So it is always just a real honor to have partners like Pima County. We could not have done it without Pima County's support this year. Local funding, state funding is what kept our doors open. And on a more positive note, after a legal battle, we have restored fair housing funding for agencies throughout the country like ours. So we will be rehiring and getting back to the work of defending people's fair housing and civil rights in Pima County and Arizona. So with that, thank you very much. Thank you, supervisors and Pima County, for your continued support.
Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Come on in. We're just getting started. Trying to find out exactly what time. It's kind of hard to judge what time, but they try to keep it running. So I know somebody said agenda 25. I did put a link in the description of the agenda. I couldn't find it in that, but it will happen probably sooner than later so they can get it over with. But we're just in a waiting game. I'm not trying to be political or start any fights in the chat. I'm just telling you the truth.
On to agenda item number 10. This is a presentation
it.
of a proclamation to Sam Miller, Vice Chair, Board of Directors of the Dark Sky International Southern Arizona Chapter, proclaiming the week International Dark Sky Week. I move the item. Seconded by Supervisor Hines. Discussion. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Item passes 5-0, and Supervisor Cano is ready to present.
I don't see any crazy scientific terms in here, Mr. Miller. Perhaps I'll be able to read this. All right. Whereas the beauty of a natural night sky is a shared heritage of all humankind, and the experience of viewing the stars inspires feelings of wonder and awe, and encourages a growing interest in science and nature. Whereas light pollution has proven economic and environmental consequences, resulting in significant impacts on the ecology and the human health of all communities. And whereas 80% of the world's population, including much of Pima County, lives under a dome of light pollution, excessive artificial lighting at night that disrupts natural darkness, and may never experience the visual wonder or ecological and health benefits of living under a dark sky. And whereas Arizona hosts 10%, that's 1 out of 10 of the world's largest telescopes, the Whipple Observatory, the University of Arizona's MMT and Large Binocular Telescope Observatories, Kitt Peak National Observatory, and the Vatican Observatory. And whereas optical astronomy and astrophysics electro-tourism, which are both endangered by unfettered light pollution, represent a statewide capital investment of more than $1.3 billion, it's with the B, and an annual economic return of more than $250 million. And they are related to more than 150,000 jobs in the aerospace and defense sector. And whereas Dark Sky International, headquartered right here in Tucson, is the world authority on light pollution and uses International Dark Sky Week to raise awareness of light pollution and encourage the protection of dark skies and use of responsible outdoor lighting. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Pima County Board of Supervisors hereby proclaims the week of April 13th through April 20th to be International Dark Sky Week and asks each resident of Pima County to join in raising awareness and support for protecting our precious dark skies. Passed and adopted the 7th day of April 2026. How did I do?
That's great. We make a serious attempt to keep science simple. Chair Allen, Supervisor Cano, and supervisors, on behalf of my 2,300 colleagues throughout the world in 22 countries and 6 continents, we want to thank you for this proclamation. This proclamation casts a wider net than what we can do individually as advocates to impress upon the public the adverse consequences of light pollution. And that's not just for the opportunity to go out and in the evening and experience the awesome beauty of our night sky, but also, as the proclamation states, it protects our science, our astronomy observatories that are on the mountain tops that surround us. But more importantly, as we have now discovered as of some pretty serious and very productive research studies since the late 90s, light pollution has serious effects on almost all living things. It affects plants, animals, particularly the nocturnal variety, insects, and even we humans. And there's been some significant research here in the last 10 years or so that shows an interruption of our circadian rhythm. Nighttime darkness has serious effects on we humans that we're just now learning to understand. So on behalf of my colleagues, supervisors, we thank you for this proclamation. It will help us educate and advise the public on the adverse effects of light pollution and hopefully get our light pollution down here in Pima County. Thank you.
I gotta walk away. I'll be right back.
Thank you. And on to agenda item number 11, which is a presentation of a proclamation proclaiming this week to be National Public Health Week. I will move the item. Seconded by Supervisor Hines. Discussion. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Item passes 5-0. I'd like to invite Celia Robidoux, Tyler Bacam, Cecia Estrada, Nerida Maldonado, Grace Faulkner, Marcelina Flores, and John Banuelos, who will be accepting the proclamation, and anyone else who's here for. And Director Terry Cohen and Supervisor Cano, would you like to present?
Hi, everyone. It's a lot of proclamations, huh? This is a very important one. Thank you for being here, our public health team, and especially Dr. Cullen. We're very grateful for your leadership. Whereas Pima County is committed to prioritizing the health and quality of life of our constituents through prevention, partnership, surveillance, and response in alignment with national efforts to address public health challenges. And whereas for more than 30 years during the first full week of April, the American Public Health Association has been unifying communities through the development of national campaigns to educate the public about improving their health. And whereas the resilience of public health systems bolstered by a dedicated workforce is essential for adapting to emerging health challenges, safeguarding public health, and ensuring a sustainable healthcare future for all. And whereas public health workers in states and communities across the country play a crucial role in ensuring that everyone can be healthy individuals living in healthy communities in a healthy world. And whereas public health professionals strive to ensure equitable access to healthcare and work to reduce health disparities, ensuring that all individuals, regardless of background, can live healthy lives in thriving communities. And whereas acknowledging that public health activities protect communities from infectious diseases, environmental health threats, workplace hazards, chronic diseases, unintentional injuries, and violence. And whereas the aid provided by public health workers in times of natural disasters and other catastrophic events merits recognition. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Pima County Board of Supervisors hereby proclaims the week of April 6th through April 12th, 2026 to be National Public Health Week and calls upon all federal, state, local, and local public health agencies, private organizations, educational institutions, and business and community leaders to unite in efforts to celebrate, engage, and promote public health initiatives that empower our communities and foster a healthier future for all. Passed and adopted the 7th day of April, 2026. Congratulations.
Thank you. Supervisor Kano, Chair Allen, members of the Board of Supervisors, and Administrator Lesher, thank you for the proclamation. On behalf
You know
of Pima
it
County
is.
Health Department, I want to express our appreciation for your recognition of National Public Health Week. This year's theme, which is Ready, Set, Action, reflects our commitment to prevention, preparedness, and building healthier, more equitable communities. Public health is often described as an invisible shield. When it works well, nothing dramatic happens, and that's the point. Much of our work happens quietly long before a crisis never makes the news. Here in Pima County, your local health department strengthens that shield every day. For example, a toddler walked away from a car crash because their car seat was properly installed. Supported by more than 11,500 car seats in education our teams provided to the families last year. A family was able to enroll a child in school, apply for a job, or access benefits because of our vital records team, which processed over 102,000 birth and death certificates. A potential outbreak in a long-term care facility was
See, Christy
contained
and me
before
are
it
just
spread,
like,
thanks to the
holy moly, look,
79
the guy on
outbreak
the right.
investigations and rapid response work carried out by our epidemiology teams. A park stayed open for play and exercise because of effective mosquito prevention, the kind of vector control and environmental health work that protects the community every day. They may not make headlines, but they are powerful reminders of the public health protects quietly and consistently through prevention, education, environmental protection, emergency preparedness, and strong community partnerships. National Public Health Week is a moment to celebrate the successes and honor the people behind them. Our epidemiologists, our nurses, and our outreach staff, environmental protection, emergency preparedness, and environmental health and
I don't know anything other than nanos. They're talking about nanos today. I haven't heard anything, when he's going to be there, if he's going to be there. I heard they're talking about nanos. Obviously, he should be there. I haven't heard either way. I'm waiting to find out. More photo ops. Here we go, guys. More photo ops. What a load of waffle. Yeah, it's a lot of smoke, and then you got look at that little kid up there. He barely even had his own checking account, and he's up there making decisions.
Agenda item number 12, we have a presentation of a proclamation proclaiming Thursday, April 30th, 2026 to be National Therapy Animal Day in Pima County. I will move the item.
Second.
Seconded by Supervisor Scott. Discussion. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Item passes 5-0. I believe Kristen Carter and Carolyn Dexter will be here to accept the proclamation. And Supervisor Scott, would you like to present?
Yes, ma'am.
And Chair
And,
Allen.
correction to the vote. That was 4-0 because Supervisor Hines stepped away from the dais. Supervisor.
Health, it is imperative that young people like you continue this legacy of service. Thank you.
Ask someone without a dog to hold. Thank you all very much, and we're delighted to have with us for the second time this morning our County Attorney Laura Conover. Whereas therapy animal teams serve many communities in Pima County, and whereas nearly 200 Pima County therapy animal teams visit schools, hospitals, government employees, 911 operators, the VA, and anyone in need of comfort. And whereas scientific research shows that interacting with therapy animals can reduce stress, relieve depression, slow heart rate, lower blood pressure, and strengthen the immune system. That means you have to stay here for our entire meeting, by the way. And whereas therapy animal teams throughout Pima County play an essential role in improving human health and well-being through the human-animal bond, and whereas therapy animal teams interact with a variety of people in our community, including veterans, seniors, patients, students, and those approaching end of life. And whereas these exceptional therapy animals who partner with their human companions bring comfort and healing to those in need, and whereas we encourage more pet owners to consider becoming therapy animal team volunteers to help our community by creating greater access to meaningful therapy animal visits. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Pima County Board of Supervisors hereby proclaims Thursday, April 30, 2026 to be National Therapy Animal Day in Pima County. Congratulations. Who would like to speak on behalf of your group?
Thank you. Thank you so much. We're thrilled and honored to be here this morning and to be able to share the impact of these animals and they have on the community. And I hope that you guys can just take a moment just to kind of see how that made you feel just to see them walk in. I know if I see a dog on the street, it brings a lot of joy to me, even if it's not my own dog. So these guys, specifically the Pima County Attorney's Office Victim Services Division is home to 3 courthouse dogs. We have here today with us Arrow and Jacob. We also have a beautiful black lab. His name is Baja. He's not here today. But he's got some other work that he's doing right now. But these guys are trained facility dogs who we get to see the incredible impact that they make every day. They provide support and comfort to our most vulnerable victims of crime here in our community. And most notably, they play a vital role in helping children feel safe when they have to go through the incredibly scary process of having to testify at trial. So these guys are really special, and we're really excited to be part of this and to kind of bring awareness to the impact that they bring, and getting to see more programs come to life to help even larger portions of the community. So thank you so much.
I used to have a Chihuahua too, a miniature Chihuahua. He was five pounds. He sat on my shoulder. Shout out Tillman. That was my dog Tillman. Shih Tzu, Shut Up. I haven't heard of that dog. 2 beagles. Oh, beagles are cute. Golden Doodle, Wyman Rainer, English Cream, Mini Dachshund. Ooh, Olive. That sounds like a pretty dog. Yeah, the animals need homes when their owners disappear. A Miami Blue Pitty. Man, those Blue Pitties are big. Chinese, Sharpay. I love watching the, the dog show every year. What's the name of
We
that
are now
dog
going to move
show?
to addendum item number 1, which is also a
Three
presentation
chihuahuas, they'll
proclamation.
bite your ankles, huh,
This
Raven?
is proclaiming the week
A
of
Great
April 11th through
Dane.
April 17th to be
My
Week of the
mom
Young
has a
Child
boxer.
in Pima County.
Mutts are
I'll
the
move the item.
best. Second.
Seconded
I'll
by
let it-
Supervisor Scott.
Stop talking now.
Discussion. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Item passes 4-0. Check this time. Supervisor Scott, would you like to present?
Yes, ma'am.
And I will invite, looks like Francisco Padilla, Rose Hatab, Jessica Croco, Mary Cliff, and Tiffany Bucchiarelli Fay to come up and accept the proclamation, and anyone else, the organizations.
I guess you guys couldn't hear me when I was talking. It looks like Hot Wire says, bro, we can't hear a dang thing you're saying. Turn the feed volume. Okay, I'm going to try that. And see, you guys are my guinea pigs, so thanks for letting me know, Hot.
Early learning and children's health programs is a smart investment that improves family well-being, strengthens communities, and grows our state's prosperity. And whereas, first things first, Arizona Association for the Education of Young Children, Southern Arizona Association for the Education of Young Children, and other community organizations, in conjunction with the National Association for the Education of Young Children, are celebrating the 55th anniversary of the Week of the Young Child. And whereas these organizations are working to improve equitable early childhood opportunities that provide a strong start for children in Pima County, and whereas the child care workforce, early childhood educators, and others who care for and teach young children deserve to be recognized and supported for their essential work. And whereas public policies that support affordable, accessible, quality childcare for all young children benefit our families, communities, and the state's economy. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Pima County Board of Supervisors hereby proclaims the week of April 11 through April 17, 2026 to be Week of the Young Child in Pima County, and encourages all citizens to support and invest in early care and education in our community. Congratulations and thank you for being here.
Okay, let me know how is that better?
Would
better?
anybody like to speak?
I'm going to put it on mute.
Thank you so much. My name is Rose Hatab, and I'm the Policy Partnerships and Outreach Advisor for Southern Arizona with First Things First. First Things First is a state agency dedicated to supporting the health development and early learning of Arizona's children from birth to age 5. These early years are critical as 90% of a child's brain growth happens by age 5, setting the foundation for lifelong success. In 2025, First Things First invested more than $128 million into Arizona's early childhood system, providing funding to 80 organizations and impacting the lives of around 160,000 children. Nearly half of FTF's funds are dedicated to expanding quality childcare and providing scholarships to families in need. Investing in early childhood programs gives a significant return, saving us $4 to $16 for every dollar spent by helping kids do better in school and stay healthy. Families benefit immediately too. These programs help make childcare more affordable, provide health and parenting resources, and help all children receive a fair start. With strong immediate and long-term returns, supporting early childhood is one of the smartest investments we can make for families today and for our state's future. We need the community and our elected leaders to endorse policies for Arizona's children that give them the best start possible and help move the Arizona economy forward. So thank you to the Pima County Board of Supervisors for recognizing the vital importance of early childhood education and for issuing this proclamation.
Thank you, Rose. And the board is grateful for our partnership with First Things First and our other partner organizations. Our early education Pima Early Education Program scholarships have helped to send 5,000 kids to preschool since its inception in 2021, and we couldn't do it without the support of First Things First and our other partners in the community. So thank you very much.
And last but absolutely not least, we're going to go to addendum item number 2. This is a presentation of a proclamation proclaiming the day today as Pima Community College Women's Basketball National Champions Day in Pima County. So I would, I'll move the item.
Second.
Seconded by Supervisor Hines. Discussion. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Item passes 5-0. And I would like to invite up, if they are here, Coach Todd Holthouse, head coach Pete Fajardo, assistant coach, Felicia Greenhouse, assistant coach, Sydney Stallworth, assistant coach, and Leon Stallworth, and players from the team. I think we have Nevaeh Renda and Kylie Sowers-Miller, maybe others, but please correct me if I am wrong.
To it here, guys. We should be, oh, she brought a cute little baby up there. That baby looks just born. Look how small that baby is.
So the proclamation reads, whereas the Pima Community College women's basketball team demonstrated exceptional talent, tenacity, and teamwork throughout a historic 2025-2026 season. And whereas the Aztecs achieved their first 30-win season in school history. Yeah.
30 wins. I can't stand this lady's voice. I mean, I'm not trying to be mean, but it's just personally.
18-game winning streak. Whereas is the National Junior College Athletic Association Division II Women's Basketball Championship in Hickory, North Carolina, the Aztecs won 4 games in 5 days, rallying past Kirkwood 64-58 in the title game on March 21st to capture the program's first national championship. And whereas team captain Milicia Nelson was selected the tournament's most valuable player, and whereas the coaching staff, led by 19-year head coach Todd Holthouse, consistently fosters a culture of excellence, sportsmanship, and resilience, bolstered by the support of families, faculty, staff, and the broader Pima Community College. And whereas the achievements of the Pima Community College women's basketball team serve as an inspiration to young athletes across the region, encouraging them to pursue their goals with passion and perseverance. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Pima County Board of Supervisors hereby proclaims the day of Tuesday, April 7th, 2026, to be Pima Community College Women's Basketball National Champions Day in Pima County, and commends the team. There's more.
Yeah, you nailed it there, Law Lassie, and thanks for the help with the shirts too. We're gonna be getting those going. Almost done. I should be picking up delivery, but shout out to the Pima Community College women's basketball team.
Thank you very much. I'd like to thank the board so much. I'd like to thank Edgar Soto, Dr. Aubrey Conover, and Steve Holmes for his recognition. I've been at Pima for 19 years. I was a junior college product myself. I know the value firsthand of junior colleges and community colleges, and being at Pima for almost 20 years now, this is a national championship for this team, but I also think that it's a national championship for all the years that we've done this and for all the athletics at Pima Community College, because the foundation that Pima offers its students to come to Pima for a couple years and then go on afterwards and do great things, and many times coming back to Tucson and giving back to our own community, as well as going out into the world and doing things representing Pima Community College, is so worth it. And basketball is the talent that gets them here, but it's actually the tool that they use to get their education. And so I'm just grateful for these opportunities. I'm so proud to represent Tucson, and I love going places and representing Pima. And the young ladies that do it for our program year after year are the best of the best. And so I thank you for your time and your consideration. And this is amazing. I never had a proclamation before, so this will look good on the display wall with all the other region championships and now the national championship.
Yeah, I've been watching these meetings, every meeting. I maybe missed one or two for the last 2 years. So I apologize to anyone. It's just, I've been watching this for years and years. It's a bunch of gaslighting. I'm not saying these aren't good people doing good things in their mind, like these organizations, the Pima community. But what it is like someone just said, I have it up. Great comment why I'm saying this is, where'd it go? It's a dog and pony show that basically we got a $2.5 billion budget this year, and we just found out today they're closing 2 fire stations possibly, and they're also understaffed our law enforcement. I'm trying to find it. Somebody says, how can anybody feel safe in Pima County with this kind of, it's the thing is it's the new normal. So everybody's accepted this where we're at. And so they think this is normal now. This is how it's going to be forever. So they don't have any intention of making solutions to actually clean it up at all. It's really just about treating, moving on. I mean, all these people are getting paid off of where, and they keep getting elected. Somebody said, well, I thought it's the people who elected them, the voters. We have a very progressive voter base, and they don't care about crime. As long as they get their money for climate change and they get their money for, all their, fluffy organizations, the NGOs, anything like that, they're happy. But they don't care that, last night there was, 3 or 4 people shot, or they don't care. It's all about keeping the narrative flowing towards their agenda, and they know they have control. So all the Democrats in the chat should be really happy about Tucson, because this is what we got. That all the elected officials, except for one, is Democrat. And so they all protect each other. It's a big, like I call it like a cult here in Tucson. And so my ideas of actually solving crime, helping out the community, it gets pushed aside because it's all about them. They get to control the money. $2.5 billion is coming. They get to control the money, and then they get to divvy out the money to their favorite organizations. We have lack of economical growth here in Tucson. So this is the call to the public.
In its Easter message, that said, I'm here to take you to task for your lack of inaction in general, and specifically in my case. My very own District 7 supervisor failed to respond to at least 3 public requests now, and 1 written demand in my social media campaign to save my service dog, Dr. Baker, my therapy animal. Is this board really so heartless? In response to your inaction, which makes you civilly liable, by the way, for negligence of Pima County voters, I make the happy announcement that I have declared myself independent write-in candidate for District 7 Pima County Board of Supervisors, as well as I'm a declared candidate for Pima County Sheriff. And for one, I keep my promises. I will not be a bump on the log. In fact, I promise to actually respond to constituents. Unlike this board, I talk the talk and walk the walk. I've already proposed resolutions like the one I've already sent to this board and the Tucson City Council to immediately remove Nanos for not just a litany of other scandals you should have already removed him for, not just because the Deputies Association just voted unanimously, mind you, to not vote of no confidence in Nanos. But my own personal experience, oh, by the way, not just for botching the Guthrie investigation, which should have been given immediately to the FBI. I am haunting this board every meeting until you do your job and help me rescue my baby, my pursuit of happiness and my livelihood, my therapy animals, because PAC and PCSD thefted them. There's no other way to describe what happened in that tragic day, which I believe is the worst case of institutional animal cruelty in American history. When I'm elected, we'll make my case an example of all the things our law enforcement is not supposed to do. P.S. When we shut down PAC, we'll devote those resources to the Humane Society instead, which is a no-kill shelter, and name it in honor of $5,000 pen chili that PAC cruelly put down in order to justify their 2023 raid on my property. Since I have been doing your job for you, you can send me the check. PAC, PCAO, and PCSD violated every law in my case, for which I'm suing you, Pima County, hopefully out of business in. My multi-billion, we'll put it towards.
Thank you,
ATM.
Trista. That would be your time. So our next three speakers are going to be Lori Moore, Corey Stevens, and then Susie Lawrenson. So.
Good morning. My name is Laurie Moore. Arizona State Law, Section 11-1051 regarding cooperation and assistance in enforcement of immigration laws state, no official or agency of this state or county, city, town, or other political subdivision of this state may limit or restrict the enforcement of federal immigration laws to less than the full extent permitted by federal law. This means the ordinances and other lesser terms that have been issued by this board to appease the left-leaning constituency have no teeth. They are completely useless, if not dangerous, and in direct violation of Arizona state and federal law. This board does not have the authority to change state or federal immigration laws or mislead the community to believe that they have jurisdiction to do so. Your unlawful pronouncements encourage protesters to engage in and hinder lawful immigration enforcement. The feds have a job to do, and any juvenile attempt at obstruction from the community is in this very serious business of deportation could result in several arrests, not just the illegal in question. There is no sanctuary for U.S. citizens or illegals who break state and federal immigration law, even those residing in a sanctuary city or welcoming center. We are a nation of laws. Laws are followed or changed in a lawful manner. They are not ignored. How many other state and federal laws is this board going to encourage residents in Pima County to not follow because you don't agree with them or you are afraid of your unruly constituency? And I have a copy of the state laws that I want to give to Sam Brown, but I'll give it to this young lady over here. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Corey Stevens.
We will see. We will see. Here we go. Another speaker.
How can a person of authority enforce a set of policies and procedures if they themselves are not held accountable to those same standards? Who then would be responsible for holding that individual accountable for their actions? This board has made it clear that elected officials can certainly be investigated, questioned. What is the accountability and consequences of action, and may it carry no weight? I have a copy of a final decision administrative investigation dated 3/19/26. Complainant, Lieutenant Heather Lappin, Principal, Chris Nanos. It's no secret that Chris Nanos used his authority and department resources for political gain. What drives a person to request this type of investigation? I can tell you that Lieutenant Lappin reported several instances to Ms. Bolin, head of HR, after she lost the election. She returned to work, and Nanos came after her again. She begged Ms. Bolin to find her another duty assignment to save her from his continued harassment from both he and his cronies, and she refused. Was Lieutenant Lappin given her full due process or protected when she appealed questionable discipline? Both Jan Lesher and Ms. Bolin sided with Captain Ogden and the next Captain Hilliker. Why do people in power protect people in power? I can tell you this: it's cowardice, selfish, and I'd argue they allowed the behavior or knew it was a setup, and it makes you complicit. It's time to hold all those responsible and accountable with truth and transparency. This board must hold Nanos accountable. Elections have consequences.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Susie
Boom.
Lawrenson.
She said it. Mic drop by her.
And then I'll note there's 3 speakers after Ms. Lawrenson are Shannon Gwaltney, Dana Cormash, and then Cynthia Brackett.
Good morning. Thank you for allowing us to speak. My name is Susie Lawrenson, and I am going to be talking about the flag of Mexico in the lobby. It violates diversity, equity, and inclusion. There are three of the flags: the flag of the United States of America, the flag of Arizona, and then on the opposite wall, there's the flag of Mexico. So the Pima County Board of Supervisors work in this building, and obviously you are your allegiance to to the American flag and to the flag of Arizona is appropriate. But I don't know why we have the Mexican flag. It doesn't meet the DEI standards according to the DEI rules. You might argue that our proximity to Mexico might be a factor, or the population of Arizona has ties to Mexico, or even there's our love of their culture and their great food. But none of these should be considered as reasons to display the Mexican flag in the lobby. So at the exclusion of all the other foreign countries. So there are approximately 193 other countries in the world, and DEI practices would insist that all of these flags be in the lobby. Yet, the only foreign country displayed in the lobby is Mexico. It would appear that you have an allegiance to Mexico, as it has been given equal status with the flag of the United States and of Arizona. So I'm English, Irish, some Indian, no sign of DEI for those countries in your lobby, only Mexico. So this board works in Arizona, in the United States of America, and we pledge allegiance to one flag. In keeping with the DEI practices, the flags representing the other 193 countries should be displayed in your lobby, or the flag of Mexico should be removed. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Shannon Gwaltney.
Good morning. My name is Shannon Gwaltney. In November of 2020, Pima County voters had an opportunity to put Sheriff Mark Napier back into office at the Pima County Sheriff's Department. A man who, regardless of whether you agreed with him 100% of the time, was a decent human being. In the end, the use of libel, unethical websites, and political nonsense, orchestrated by former Chief Rick Castigar and Nanos himself, was too much for an ethical man like Mark Napier to overcome. Now here we are with a freight train called Sheriff Nanos barreling out of control down the tracks, and we're presented with an arduous task of stopping him. It's going to take strength, courage, and determination to finish this job. As I stand here before you today, I want to say thank you for the courageous measures you have already taken and compel you to persevere through this effort. My family has given nearly 100 years of service to the Pima County Sheriff's Department. My uncle retired as a deputy in 1995. My mother was a records clerk when I was hired at the age of 17. I met my husband of 27 years there. So when I say that it breaks my heart to see what has become of a once great department run with professionalism and pride under both Sheriff Dupnick and Napier, please understand I mean these words literally. The safety of our community and the restoration of public trust can only begin with Chris Nanos' removal from office. We're counting on your efforts to protect our community from the leadership failures of this entire administration, and I humbly ask you stay the course. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Dana Cormash.
So thank you all for letting me speak, and a shout out to the county administrator, Jan Lesher, for all she does for the current county employees and those that are like retiring, because I worked here for 25 and a half years and this was kind of thrown at me, like, get out here. So, but that was because I was on a mainframe. Mainframes went away and now they kind of want them back, but that's a different story. So AI. In December, my husband and I decided to leave the Arizona State Retirement System's medical plan and go with United Healthcare AARP. We both got approved and then I got disenrolled. And I'm pretty sure it was AI. I mean, I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure it was AI. And so I was kind of told by United Healthcare, well, you don't have insurance for the month of January. And I'm like, my husband said, stay in the house, don't go outside. Well, then on about the 20th of January, someone from United Healthcare said, you are insured. It's whether or not it's Arizona State Retirement or AARP. So I went and played pickleball, and on my bad hip, stepped back, and instead of just this, like I've done before, I put my hand out, and so here I am, like going through surgery thinking, do I really have health insurance, But anyway, so that's just another thing about AI that a human takes time to, like, a computer is faster than it was in 79 when I went to school. And when I went to school, a nanosecond is how fast it went. And that's a nanosecond to a second is like a second is to 30 years. That's how fast these computers go. So I'm into humans, not computers. But thank you again.
Our next speaker is Cynthia Brackett. And then after Cynthia, our following two speakers will be Joel Strabala, maybe? I could be misreading that. Strabala, and then followed by Melissa Cordero.
I wonder if Alex is going to speak.
I'm sorry, I'm nervous. So first of all, I wanted to show you a picture of my son. This is Kevin Breitweiser. He is my son. He's lived in Pima County his whole life. Kevin has been in and out of jail so many times. He is diagnosed schizophrenic, and when he was in Pima County jail, I got him pencils and paper, and he wrote this. I love Pima County. But I'm here because he's been in and out of jail. I know that you have a program that if you're in and out of jail 3 times in the last year, you can qualify for housing. Since Kevin is an adult, the family is running into red flags all the time because he is an adult and they want him to talk. But Kevin thinks he's fine. He had vandalized my vehicle. I had a 2025 Nissan Rogue. He vandalized it. He also vandalized the neighbor's vehicle. He goes into psychosis mode. He's been in Palo Verde several times. No discharge plan. Goes back right out to the streets. When he was in jail, his public defender, Aubrey Breckenberg or something, I'm sorry, I forgot her name. She had said, we have nothing for him. We have no houses. We have nothing. He's not.
Can you move the mic a little closer just so we can?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you so much.
My son is not a drug user. So all the programs that they had said that they had is for drug users. He's not a drug user. He did have done drugs, but now that he is not doing drugs, it's mental health. Due to his mental health, they had said there's no housing. The cycle is not random. It happens because there's no stable housing in place at the place of discharge. Every time that he's in the hospital, Palo Verde, Sonora, CRC. There's another one on Wilmot that I don't know that he's been in. They just discharge him to the streets. It's right back goes into the cycle. He qualifies for housing. I worked at Pima County and I know the SPDAT, and he would come first on the SPDAT. I need help to please help him go into housing. The family has helped as much as we can. We are at a stopping point for housing for him. We're not rich at all. If there are programs out there, please reach out to me to where we can get him into housing. That's all I'm asking for the court right now. Thank you.
See, that's the problem, everyone. The system is broken. There's families out here
Our
just
last two
waiting for
speakers
help.
are,
and they get
well, it's
told-
Joel Strabala.
Good morning, Supervisors. It's Strabala.
Strabala.
Most people mispronounce it, so no offense taken. Oops. Good morning. I'm Joel Strabala, a resident of Pima County, and this concerns agenda item 22 today of unfinished business of the proposed Pima County anti-masking ordinance. Pima County voters, whether they support or oppose ICE operations to deport illegal immigrants, know that the Pima County supervisors have publicly acknowledged that they are trying to unlawfully target and restrict federal immigration enforcement operations by ICE in Pima County by passing a covertly worded and unlawful anti-masking ordinance. In late 2025, the state of California passed a similar law attempting to impose masking requirements on federal ICE agents that was ultimately suspended and struck down by a federal district court judge in February 2026. It is my opinion that the Pima County anti-masking ordinance violates USC Code sections 1373 and 1644, as well as Arizona Revised Statutes 11-1051, which paragraph A states, no official agency of this state or of the county, city, town, or political subdivision of this state may limit or restrict the enforcement of federal immigration laws to less than the full extent permitted by federal law. Paragraph H of the same ARS allows a person who is a legal resident of the state that may bring action in superior court to challenge such an unlawful ordinance. If there, as a result of the investigation, a judicial finding against county officials that violated this section, the court may order the imposition of a fine not less than $500 a day and not more than $5,000 a day for a policy that remains in effect after the finding of the action pursuant to this subsection of the IRS. Additionally, the court may award court costs and any reasonable attorney's fees. When this issue is eventually litigated, I hope that the supervisors that supported this, their staff, the county administrator, and be fined to the maximum extent of the law of $5,000 a day until this ordinance is removed from our considerations. So therefore, I'm requesting that supervisors stop wasting time and taxpayers' money in pursuing this ordinance and move forward on other more important business. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Melissa Cordero.
Good morning, Board of Supervisors. My name is Melissa Cordero. I'm a resident. I live in Ward 1. I'm here today as a member of Transit for All Coalition, also known as TFAC. I am the Deputy Director of Climate Justice for Veterans Power America. I am also the founder of Veterans Against Mass Deportation. And the reason I started that now national campaign is because this administration is also deporting veterans. But I'm not here for that. Just had to add that in. I do want to talk about transit though. First, thank you for your leadership in moving Pima County forward. This is a wonderful meeting for the most part, and I thank you guys for that. You may remember back in March 2022, the Transit for All Coalition, a group of social justice, climate, and anti-poverty advocates came together to advocate for permanently free public transit. for city residents. And you may also recall that the mayor and council committed to Tucson Resilient together, and alongside Pima County, they passed the Prosperity Initiative. Free transit is a natural extension of these efforts. Since the pandemic, Tucson has consistently sought ways to keep fares free. Now we urge Pima County to support this vital initiative. Every dollar a rider saves goes back into our local economy by removing fare barriers. We help people get to work consistently, which is essential for businesses. Free transit is a form of economic development. In extreme heat, access to cooling centers, libraries, and recreation centers is crucial for public health. As a veteran who has lived in this city for 12 years, I have a deep appreciation, and I still have a crush on this city and county. Thanks to leaders like you, I get to call this place home. I also want to share that my mother was a veteran who experienced homelessness. Her biggest barrier was transportation. Not effort, not motivation, but transportation. So let's reimagine public transportation. I often use our transit system as a mobile meeting space, connecting over coffee on the go. Tucson's fare-free system is something I'm very proud of. I have seen the struggles in rural Arizona because of the work I do in climate justice, and I see the disconnection and the limit access to work and services, and some people can't even get to planning and zoning meetings because they just can't. Together, let's keep moving forward, unintended. I would love to see more collaboration between the city and county leadership on this matter. So let's ensure our transit remains fare-free, accessible, and focused on the people who rely on it most. After all, I think we're all here because we have a crush on this city and county. Thank you.
Thank you. So that concludes call to the public. I will ask my board members if they would like to do any of the following: request staff to follow up on any matter from call to the public, request that an item be placed on a future agenda, or respond to a criticism. No? All right, thank you. We have a time certain at 11 o'clock, so between now and then, I wanted to get to item number 23, because we have our Clerk of Superior Court and others from the Superior Court here with us. So item 23, I will pass it over to, pardon for the pause. I will pass it over to the Superior Court Administrator, Ron Overholt, and anyone else to give us an overview of this ordinance.
Thank you, Chair Allen, members of the board. I'm joined by Cassandra Urias, who's our Chief Deputy Court Administrator, James Giacomino, who's our Clerk of Court, and Ray Rivas, who's our Chief Deputy Clerk of Court. This item is a proposal to adjust a fee, the automation and technology fee that supports technology in both the Superior Court and the Clerk of Court. It was established in 2003 as a way to support technology as it was emerging in the courts and in the clerk's office. The fee was set at $40 in 2003. It has not been adjusted since then, even though technology has grown so much in terms of cost increase and importance in the courts. The proposal is to raise the fee to $100 on civil filing fees, family law fees, and probate fees. There is a mechanism to waive the fees for persons who meet the federal poverty levels, and there's a process where someone can file a request to waive those fees. Approximately 10% of the filings in those three areas are waived through that process. Again, this is only a partial way that technology is funded in the courts. There's some other special technology fees and the general fund that supports the ongoing technology. This is not a project about a project. I know there was a question about whether this would be a one-time cost that then we would have this ongoing revenue for a one-time cost. It's not supporting a project, it's supporting our overall technology. I'd be happy to answer any questions, or if James or Ray or Cassandra have anything to add. Submitted.
Questions from supervisors for our guests? Well, I have a question. Is there So it's the waiver, right? Because going from 40 to 100 is it's more than doubling the increase. So it, caught my eye. I am wondering if there is, the waiver is tied to federal poverty line, which is incredibly low. I don't know whether you have flexibility in what the waiver gets pegged to, if that is a statutorily defined parameters, or if it's something that there's discretion around. My request would be in terms of is fees go up, increasing the waiver eligibility, tying it perhaps instead of federal poverty line to the average median income for Pima County residents would be one idea. Or increasing it from the 150% to 200%. I think this is something that we have done through some of the fee departments in the county who have had to increase fees or services have also increased the parameters of eligibility for those for fee reductions. And I'm just wondering if you have the discretion to do that, or it's something that could be considered.
Thank you, Chair. There is discretion. The statutory that sets it at 150% of the federal poverty level, and the federal poverty level is set by the federal government and can be adjusted. Anyone who is receiving food stamps, TANF, or what's the third one?
SSI. Social Security.
Social Security, SSI, are automatically waived. And then there is a hearing before a judge, and a judge always has some discretion in terms of waiving the fees under special circumstances. So the number one goal of the Superior Court is access to justice. And this fee sort of has a double-edged sword. It supports access to justice by providing technology. We're a 7/24, 365 operation now, where we were an 8 to 5 show up downtown kind of operation. So it supports that access to justice, but we want to be very careful not to have it be a barrier to justice as well.
Supervisor Hines and Supervisor Scott.
Thank you. Just to clarify, this is a fee that would apply for civil filings and I think family, but not criminal. Is that correct?
Not criminal. It's probate, civil, and family law.
Oh, probate as well. Okay, thank you.
Supervisor Scott.
Thank you, Chair Allen. Mr. Overholt, you mentioned that the fee has not been raised since 2003, and we note that it's going into the local court automation and technology fee fund. How was the amount determined, and how was that determined amount related to what you and your team project to be the needs of that fund in the years to come?
Thank you, Chair Allen and Supervisor Scott. The fee is allocated between the Superior Court budget and the Clerk of Court budget. It's a split of 80. The proposal is to split 85 to Superior Court and 15% to the Clerk of Court. That is set in through a negotiation that we had with Mr. Giacomino and his staff, based on the fact that we have a consolidated a technology department now that supports both the Superior Court and the Clerk of Court. And we meet regularly to set priorities for where those funds should be allocated and how it's applied. But this has been a negotiation discussion we've had for at least the last 2 years with the Clerk of Court and Superior Court, and we believe it's an equitable approach.
And is there potential for the fee to be adjusted as the needs of the funds and the breakdown between Superior Court and Clerk of the Court are monitored over the years?
Of course, and that's under the authority of your board.
Okay, but we would get some report from all of you if there was a basis for lowering it?
I don't know if there's a established report, but we could certainly provide that.
And then I had another question. My understanding is that the reason that your technology was merged was because of a direction from the administrative office of the Arizona Supreme Court. Do we get any state funding that helps to deal with that mandate?
Not directly, I would say. There are projects that are funded by the Administrative Office of the Courts. But the Chief Justice did issue an administrative order combining our two departments. And frankly, we work so closely together that it makes a lot of sense to us. And I think we're all satisfied with that establishment.
Was that an order just to Pima County Superior Court or to superior courts in general?
Specific to our county.
Okay. Could I ask the county administrator, could we find out if the Chief Justice authorized any kind of payment to Pima County to help defray the cost or deal with the cost of the order from her office?
Okay. And Chair Allen and Supervisor Scott are happy to get that for you, but they did not. But we can clarify. What we can do is clarify the amount of the state pays for the courts, which is not the full cost of the courts.
No, and it never has been. But that would be more a decision by the legislature than by the Chief Justice. Correct? All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any further questions? I will make the motion to approve ordinance number 2026-4.
Second.
Oh, I'm sorry. We will close the hearing, followed by the motion to approve ordinance 2026-4.
Second.
Seconded by Supervisor Hines. Discussion.
Chair Allen.
Supervisor
Just
Scott.
following up on my request, could the board get notice if there appears to be any ability to lower this fee moving forward based on the projections that you've made? And if the distribution changes from 85-15, if we could be noticed of that as well?
Of course.
Thank you.
And I guess I would add to that too, if there is some deliberation around expanding the eligibility so that more people fall within it. And if there's any fine tuning that can be done around the application process to make it as minimally bureaucratic as possible.
Of course.
So that people are able to achieve it.
Thank you.
Learn more. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Item passes 4-1. Okay,
Thank you very much. Thank you for your courtesy of taking us.
thank you. We have 10 minutes until our time certain. I will, I could ask, are the,
She just
Are
got
our
elected.
guests who are here for item 25,
And they just put her
are they
on.
present?
Chairperson.
Yes, then why don't we go ahead then to item 25. This is the naming of the Animal Care Center Dispatch Center to the Celine Ann Baker Dispatch Center. I would like to first, please come on up. I wanted to thank PAC Director Steve Kozacek for championing this
course she
effort
does.
to name the PAC Dispatch Center after Celine Ann Baker.
That's her best friend, Steve.
Proudly served Pima County for 20 years, 13 of which as a dispatch supervisor at PAC. And so it's my honor today to bring this item forward to recognize Celine's incredible service to the community and her lifelong commitment to compassionate care for animals here in Pima County. We have some speakers. I believe we're joined by Celine's dad, Terry Baker, and Danielle Hinte from the Animal Protection Services Chief at PAC.
That is not me in the right corner. That is the only Republican voted in Pima County. All the rest are Democrats. That's Steve Christie in the right. Not me. I'm on the left
Name is Terrence Baker.
with the backwards hat.
Our daughter, Celine Ann Baker, worked for Pima County for 20 years. The last 13 with the Pima Animal Care Center. She started as a dispatcher and was promoted to the position of supervisor at the dispatch center. Answering thousands of calls during that time, she prided herself on her professionalism and dedication to animal welfare. She made sure that she was very knowledgeable on all current laws and regulations. In addition to providing information to citizens calling in, she made sure that the animal control officers in the field were dispatched efficiently and safely monitored. Likewise, when the dispatch center was relocated 3 different times, she and her team assisted in a smooth transition with little or no disruption to the public. Unfortunately, she passed away in August. I would ask the board to please approve the Pima County Animal Control Center Dispatch Center to be named in her honor, the Celine Ann Baker Dispatch Center. Thank you.
Thank you.
Celine Ann stood watch over countless sheriff's deputies and animal protection officers during her 20 years of service with Pima County. During her time at PAC, I, like many others, got to know Celine Ann as well as her loyal service dogs, Rollick and Tub Tim. Celine Ann was the type of coworker who always had candy at her desk for visitors, gifts for her team at the holidays, and an open door for anyone needing to talk. We are all honored to have known and worked with her. No one is more deserving of this dedication, and I think the call center, I would be honored to have it named in her honor. Thank you.
Thank you. So I will move the item to rename the dispatch center the Celine Ann Baker Dispatch Center.
Second.
Seconded by Supervisor Hines. Further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Those opposed? Item passes 5-0. Thank you. And it's my understanding that there will be that there's a lovely plaque that'll be put outside the dispatch center. So thank you so much for being here.
I don't know what time they're talking about Nanos. I don't know if he's gonna be there. I'm a public, I wish I had a clue. We think he's gonna be here. He should be there, but we know that they're gonna talk about it. I just don't know when the agenda is in the description of this video. If you go to there's an agenda button. It's in there. Somebody said it was 25, but we just passed 25, so I'm a little confused, but it's going to happen. They're going to talk about what they've discovered.
I will move the item.
Second.
Seconded by Supervisor Hines. Any discussion?
It only says agenda number 15 right now.
Opposed? Item passes 5-0. Item 16, continuing on the Flood District Board, contract with the Hydrologic Research Center. I move the item.
Second.
Seconded by Supervisor Hines. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Item passes 5-0. We will now switch over to sitting as the Vale Crossings Desert Vista Community Facilities District. This is item number 17. I will move the item.
Madam Chair?
Oh, yes. Supervisor Christie.
There he is.
I was going to move the item.
Oh, please do.
Second.
Seconded by Supervisor Hines. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Item passes 5-0. Now we're going to resume sitting as the Board of Supervisors, and I will, moving to item number 18. This is a fireworks permit hearing. I will, is there anyone here who wishes to speak to this item? All right, I move to close the public hearing and approve this permit.
Second.
Seconded by Supervisor Scott. Discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
No.
Item passes 4-1. Hearing number 19, again, a fireworks permit. Is anyone here wish to speak to this item? I move to close the public hearing and approve this permit.
Second.
Seconded by Supervisor Scott. Discussion.
Chair Allen.
Supervisor Scott.
Our office has been championing the cause of doing away with fireworks shows at the resorts that are for purely commercial purposes. These two items, both 18 and 19, are related to high school proms. And so we are very comfortable supporting them and are very glad and grateful to the other resorts. Skyline Country Club, of course, is not a resort, but we're grateful to the resorts in our district that have not been coming forward with permits for commercial purposes. Just wanted to point that out.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair Allen.
Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Item passes 4-1. 4-1 it is. Agenda item 20, this is a hearing for a liquor license at the Turquoise Wine Bar. Is there anyone present who wishes to speak on this item? I move to close the public hearing and approve this permit.
Second.
Seconded by Supervisor Hines. Discussion. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Item passes 5-0. This is item 21, also liquor license job number 382669 for the Turquoise Wine Bar. Anyone present who wishes to speak to the item? I move to close the public hearing and approve this permit.
Second.
Seconded by Supervisor Hines. Discussion. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Item passes 5-0.
Oh.
All right. We are going to skip item 22. That is the unfinished business hearing code text amendment to the ordinance because it is tied to an executive session item. So we will move to, let's see, we did 23. Moving on to 24, which is approval of the consent calendar.
Madam Chair?
Supervisor Christie.
Yes, I'd like to request that items 3 and 14 be pulled from the consent and considered separately.
Okay. All right. Anyone else?
He speaks. Shout
All
out
right.
Steve
I move
Christie.
to approve the consent calendar with the exceptions of items 3 and 14.
Second.
Seconded by Supervisor Hines. Any discussion?
Chair Allen.
Supervisor Scott.
I appreciate very much that one of the items on the consent calendar is connected with the progress of closing the land sale on Project Blue, the Clay Target relocation. Would like to use this opportunity to ask the county administrator if we can get an update on the further progress of moving forward with everything associated with that land sale and proceeding with the construction. If there's any updates that can be shared with the board. Thank you.
Chair Allen.
Supervisor Kano.
Thank you. I want to offer my appreciation to the county administrator and to our team at the Community and Workforce Development Department. Included in this consent are items with dedicated allocations to our 2 tribal nations within Pima County. And this is, of course, something that is very important to the District 5 office, partnering with our tribal communities, but most importantly, putting some dollars behind it. And I look forward, as I've mentioned to some tribal leaders, that these particular items are down payments on future collaboration with the Tohono O'odham and the Pascua Yaqui.
We have 5 casinos here in Tucson. They're just building a brand new casino here.
Consent calendar. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Consent passes 5-0. Now going to items 3 and 14. Is it okay if I combine those two, Supervisor Christie? Okay. I will move the items.
Second.
Seconded by Supervisor Hines. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, item passes 4 items pass 4-1. All right. Moving through, we already did 25. Let's go to item number 26. This is the anti-racketeering revolving funds, the amount of $519 for National Crime Victims' Rights Week. I will move the item.
Second.
Seconded by Supervisor Hines. Discussion. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Item passes 5-0. We will now go to item number 27, which is our monthly financial update. Look to the administrator or to Director Cuaron.
Thank you, Chair Allen. Mr. Cuaron, your finance director is here for item 7. Thank you.
Thank you, Administrator Lesher, Chair Allen, members of the board. Really brief update for you today as the slides are coming up. High-level overview of our finances through period 8 is Pima County is in a very strong financial position. We have our general fund revenues projected to exceed the budget by 15.6 million. This is an increase over where we were last period by about 3.3 million. This is again largely driven by our state shared sales tax increase. We projected another small increase over last month. Really just the economy continues to perform at a level that maybe we didn't anticipate during the creation of the 25-26 budget. We also have expenditures that are trending lower than our budget by about $7.7 million, net of operating transfers out. So departments continue to do a good job of monitoring their budget. This is an increase of $2.6 million in savings compared to the prior month. So really good job by the departments there. Our fund balance, as a result of both the revenues coming in higher than expected and expenditures trending lower than expectations, have our fund balance projected to increase by 39.3. This also does reflect an $8.6 million increase in our fund balance, in our beginning fund balance. That's really as a result of the completion of our audit by the Auditor General's office, which was issued February 27th, 2026. So we did pick up an additional 8.6 million in fund balance at the beginning of the fiscal year. As a reminder to the board, our period 8 forecast locks in our savings for use in the 2026-27 budget. So that 39.3 that you see there will be used to in our budget discussions for the upcoming fiscal year. So it does lock in those savings in this fiscal year. So overall, very strong position financially for Pima County as we sit through the March projection, which is as of February 28th. Next slide, please. This chart just demonstrates the numbers that I just talked about, the 16.9 million there in the beginning fund balance.
It seems like they known that Nanos, a lot of the public is waiting for this, and they throw up all this boring stuff. I mean, for people here in Tucson, it might be interesting, and people just involved in wanting to know how our cities ran, but they could talk about Nanos at the beginning. Maybe somebody just said they're going to go into executive session and then they're going to talk. And then what they did last time is they went into executive session and then they came out and to the public meeting part of it, excuse me, after that, and said what they discussed or what they decided. So I don't know, guys, we're hanging on here, finding out what's going on. Somebody said it was agenda number 25. Yeah, I'll think it will be discussed in executive decision session. So I think they're going to do that, and then they're going to come back out to the public. So we'll just we got to hear the public speakers, though. That was a big part of this morning too, is the public speakers. If you rewind to that part, if you're just tuning in, go back to see the public speakers where they talked about Nanos. So here we are. We're gonna see what they say. You see what I see.
Again, just mentioned it, April 17th, the recommended budget will be distributed to your offices and posted online. I do want to make note there. I did note that there were two date changes that are incorrect on this slide. The tentative budget is on May 26th. The tentative adoption is on May 26th. And the final budget adoption is scheduled for June 23rd. I just missed those with the changes of the board dates. So that concludes my prepared remarks. I'll be happy to answer any questions the board may have.
Chair Allen.
Supervisor Hines.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you for being here, Director Gordon. Could you walk us through how a state audit generated $8 million? Because I think that's what I heard you say, and I'm just not quite sure what that means.
Sure. Chair Allen, Supervisor Hines, the audit itself didn't generate the savings. We just didn't present them until the audit was final. So what happens after period 8, when we lock in the general fund balance savings into the budget, anything that is derived after period 8 rolls into our fund balance for the next year. And so that 8.6 was what had accumulated after period 8 last year. So period 9, 10, 11, and 12, and carried forward into our general fund reserve pot for the next fiscal year. We just didn't feel comfortable projecting it until the Auditor General had an opportunity to review our financials. So it's not that the audit generates it, it's there. We just don't forecast it or project it until we know the audit is complete.
Okay. Are there any other amounts of money like that we could be expecting to learn about at any point?
Chair Allen, Supervisor Hines, not that we can expect at this time.
Thank you.
Thank you. I do have a question. Is there, it just strikes me sort of unusual that our expenditures are down 7.7 million. Is there something specific that is contributed to that? Or, I guess I just wonder what the analysis is behind that.
Yeah, Chair Allen, this is really on the part of the departments, just monitoring their budgets, whether it's, through natural attrition, not filling positions, maybe a project didn't come to fruition as the department might have expected, or they're not seeing the increases in the budget that they had originally thought. It's a confluence of factors, and there's not one particular thing that I could pinpoint. It's just a confluence of factors that help from a countywide general fund perspective be under by that amount of money.
Thank you. Any additional questions? Okay. Well, thank you for your presentation. We are moving on now to the addendum. We have already done items 1 and 2. There are several executive session items addendum items 3, 4, and 5 are executive session. Item 6 on the addendum is also tied to an executive session item. 7 also executive session. 8 is also tied to an executive session, which brings us to item number 9. This is resolution number 2026, opposing unlawful federal interference in Pima County election administration. This was an item from District 2, so Supervisor Hines.
Thank you, Chair Allen. In light of the most recent federal presidential attempt to basically take over election administration or interfere with election administration, which is something that is delegated to the states, specifically also delegated to the counties, I felt that it would be a good idea for this board to oppose that. And I would, should I?
Madam Chair, could the supervisor speak up, please?
Sorry. Is it working? Okay. All right. Sorry. So this resolution is just basically to declare that the counties are in fact responsible for elections and that federal interference is not only unwelcome, but unlawful. And I would like to move the item, but I should also read it. Do you want me to read it first? And then how do I give it a... I'll just read it. Okay. Whereas the County Board of Supervisors finds that free, fair, and accessible elections are a core constitutional function of the states delegated to the counties and not subject to unilateral control by the President of the United States. And whereas President Trump's March 31st, 2026 executive order on mail-in voting attempts to impose new federal controls over state election administration, including federal, quote, citizenship lists, end quote, new mail-in ballot transmission rules, and threatened enforcement against state and local election officials. And whereas federal courts have already blocked key portions of the Trump administration's 2025 election executive order, concluding that the president lacks authority to direct federal election administration in areas reserved to the states, Congress, and independent agencies. And whereas Pima County conducts secure elections under state law and vote by mail is a lawful, long-standing, and widely used method relied upon by roughly 90% of Arizona voters. And whereas the use of incomplete or mismatched federal databases risks disenfranchising eligible voters, including citizens with limited mobility, voters who lack reliable transportation, naturalized citizens, tribal citizens, military voters, and other voters entitled to cast a ballot under state and federal law. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Pima County Board of Supervisors opposes any federal executive action that unlawfully interferes with Pima County's election administration or restricts lawful access to vote by mail. And be it further resolved that the board affirms that Arizona elections must be administered in accordance with the United States Constitution, the Arizona Constitution, relevant federal laws, and the Arizona revised statutes, not by unilateral presidential decree. And be it further resolved that the board urges prompt judicial review of the March 31st, 2026 executive order and supports all lawful efforts to protect eligible voters from disenfranchisement. And be it finally resolved that the clerk of the board transmit this resolution to the President of the United States, Governor Katie Hobbs, Secretary of State Adrian Fontes, Attorney General Chris Mays, and the congressional delegation for Arizona, hopefully passed and adopted by the Pima County Board of Supervisors the 7th day of April 2026. And I move the item.
I'll second.
Seconded by Supervisor Scott. Discussion. I will thank you, Supervisor Hines, for introducing this. Elections in Pima County have proven repeatedly to be safe, effective, accessible to eligible voters. And I am incredibly proud of the work of our county recorder, Gabriela Caceres Kelly, and our elections director, Constance Hargrove, and both of their respective departments, because they work tirelessly during election season, which continues to get longer and longer and longer, much like our summers. And outside of it, to ensure that Pima County voters can have confidence in our election systems and their results. They do all of that against a backdrop of a more than half a decade of disinformation campaign that has been led by President Trump and his allies to overturn the results of the 2020 election and to sow distrust in our electoral system. So, the bottom line is that the people who brought you the big lie and January 6th want us to believe that they are the ones best poised to run elections. And here in Pima County, I think we will have none of that.
See what we do
So
that?
I support the resolution.
This is
and
what
thank
they're
you again
doing
for
right
bringing it
here.
forward.
We got full TDS
Chair Allen.
right here.
Supervisor Scott.
This should be called out right here.
Not at the last Legislative Policy Summit of the County Supervisors Association, which was held in Yuma, but the previous one that was held in Pinal County, we honored Supervisors Gates, Hickman, and Sellers from Maricopa County. All three of those supervisors are Republicans, and they defended not only their work, but the work of their staffs in conducting the 2020 elections in Maricopa County. And they did so at great risk to themselves, not just politically, but personally. All three of them dealt with death threats to them and their families in the wake of the lies that were told by President Trump and his allies about how the 2020 election was conducted in Maricopa County. I had the privilege of serving with those three gentlemen during my first term, and I have had the privilege of representing Pima County on the Legislative Policy Committee for the County Supervisors Association since 2021. There have been several instances in those 6 years where members of the legislature have introduced legislation that calls into question the fact that counties conduct elections in Arizona accurately, fairly, safely, securely. The majority of the members of the Legislative Policy Committee of the County Supervisors Association are Republicans. But every time those measures have come before us, we have recommended unanimously that they be opposed. So I thank my colleague for bringing this up. And I also want to remind the members of the media and the public the county supervisors in Arizona, regardless of party, know that elections in this state are conducted accurately, fairly, safely, and securely, despite the assertions by the President of the United States, by his since removed Department of Homeland Security Secretary when she was in this state, and despite the assertions of some of the president's allies in the legislature. So thank you again, Supervisor Hines.
Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Item passes 4-1. And I'll note that that item is resolution number 2026-19. All right. Item number 10 is also connected to an executive session item, so we will come back to that. This is addendum item number 11. It's the classification compensation from the HR department. I will move the item.
Second.
Seconded by Supervisor Hines. Discussion.
Madam Chair?
Oh, Supervisor Christie, yes.
Couple of questions on this. This new position, with the pay grade and the title and all the trappings of a new job, is this position funded by a grant, or is it coming from funding by the general fund?
Mr. Holmes, thank you. Deputy County Administrator Holmes.
Chair Allen, Supervisor Christie, this is being funded by the opioid dollars and the last distribution for justice services to engage in co-responder training. So it is funded by that grant for 3 years.
So it's not coming from the general fund at this point?
Chair Allen, Supervisor Christie, no, it's not. It's opioid dollars. And I apologize. It's not a grant. It's opioid funds. It's not considered a grant. So I just want to correct myself.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Chair Allen.
Supervisor Hines.
These dollars are already budgeted. This is not an additional, this is not an increase for this. This looks like there's already funds to cover this position. Is that what I'm reading?
Chair Allen, Supervisor Hines, that is correct. It's currently funded.
Great, thank you.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Item passes 5-0. We'll move on to item number 12. This is the appointment of Crystal Franco to fill a vacancy on the Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee. I will move the item.
Second.
Seconded by Supervisor Hines. Discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Item passes 5-0.
Are we out of things to do?
It does look like we ran out of things to do. Perhaps we can go into exec early. All right. So we are going to break for executive session. I will make the motion to break, seconded by Supervisor Hines. Discussion. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Breaking for executive session is passed 5-0. 40 minutes early, and it is a significant executive session. So I would assume I would give us an hour and a half. Yeah, I would say, folks, if we give us at least 90 minutes. Right.
And thank you guys for coming in. Sorry, I didn't realize it was on mute. But yeah, we're not trying to start fights. Obviously there's some people in the chat are real passionate about what they feel, and I am too, just like you guys. I know a lot about how Tucson is. I've been here my whole life as far as I was born here. So apologize if anybody took offense, but I'm just trying to help educate like I have been for a while about what's going on here, why, certain things are done. I mean, as you can see, there's only one Republican. And so all the Democrats, it's kind of like a group chat. They tell, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. There's no opposition voices being even brought up. The only reason that they're trying to get Nanos out is so they can put in somebody else in their party, right? Because it's not going to be an open election. They're going to just put someone in who can keep the money train rolling. This is all about money, guys. So if the sheriff's gone, then they can have a new sheriff that they can have control over and, cancel flock systems, cut money. It's a basically a good old boys network here in Tucson. Only one party rule. It's kind of, I mean, if I could compare it to like how Russia would be ran, it's like the opposition is about 30% to their 70%. So whatever they want to push over, they get. And so we got understaffed police. We got lack of, accountability and transparency about where this money's going. Like I mentioned, $160 million. Just say that number and then think about how many millions that is. Just in Tucson last year went to climate change. Just in 1 year. So I don't mean to be, anybody who's, upset about anything. We're not trying to, we're just stating the facts. There needs to be opposition. It can't be just one no, like I said, people want me to talk. If I could talk until I turn blue and they would just ignore it. Last night, if you guys were watching, the person who put on the meeting, Lane Santa Cruz, didn't even show up to her own meeting. The mayor was supposed to be there. She didn't even show up. These people do not care because they know they have that 70% that's going to always vote for them. And they put in these planted candidates and they go, okay, here's our new planted candidate. And then all of the people, the base, so to speak, it's a very progressive base. I mean, Bernie Sanders sold out a high school stadium here full of people loving Bernie Sanders. I mean, and they still love Bernie. I'm not trying to be mean, right? I'm trying to just tell you the facts of that's not all. Most of America is more, right? It's more moderate, right? And then there's these certain little pockets in America that it is extreme progressive, right? I'm using all the key words, progressive. And then they want to get up in front of our city and they had full TDS talking about Donald Trump did this and Donald Trump did that. We could say 19 things about Biden. We could say 19 things about Bush. But they want to get up now and use the division, right? The division they want to try to create against all of us. And then they go up in their fancy seats because they're elected, except for the one guy, he was just appointed, Andres Cano. And then they say, oh, this is where Donald Trump did this to us. And it's like, well, whatever the point you have is your opinion. They get in these groups and now they're going to make a public statement about it. How is that fair? How is that fair? They're not even acknowledging that they were the ones that helped implement this invasion of millions of immigrants. They literally helped it. They made it happen. They reached out to Biden and said, we need money here in Pima County. You think this was not planned? You think that Biden and he didn't plan with the local Pima County, including Nanos, to actually implement that? They get them to Tucson. They put them in the Red Roof Inn. You can go watch the videos. And then they flew them out. And now these people they have homes all across America that's funded by us. But you know what? They won't take care of our own American citizens. You see it right now on all the streets. They're not going to take care, but they're going to take care of somebody from another country. We've always loved immigration here in Tucson, right? but not millions. We always, I mean, we love our immigrants here in Arizona. I mean, I am 100% for immigration, legal immigration, but millions coming up, and then we're just supposed to ignore it. We're not supposed to talk about it. I'm not even looking at the chat because it's like it's real. Every time I watch these meetings, it's frustrating to see the division that they're creating. And the only reason that they're picking on Nanos is because he's the scapegoat. As bad as he is, there's worse than Nanos. Adelita Grijalva and the Grijalva family, they're worse. But they get the pass. They get a pass. Romero and her husband, they're worse. Lane Santa Cruz, the one who said, you know, she wished she thought it was karma about Charlie Kirk. They all get a pass, but they're gonna pick on Nanos. This is how it is. So as much as everybody wants Nanos gone, we got 20 other ones that basically are worse than Nanos. Corrupt $160 million last year on climate change. We're losing jobs here in Tucson. The crime is out of control. It's something needs to be. That's why if anything comes out of, you know, Nanos, they need to look at all of these other people too. Go look up Raul Grijalva. He actually told people to boycott Arizona. You remember that? Raul Grijalva, boycott my state. Boycott. That's the kind of leader. Our city has been taken over by activist leaders, not people that are in the best interests of all citizens. These people only care about a small number of people. And then everybody else, they could care less. And that's why they're holding on tight in Tucson, because it's a money grab. They get these federal dollars and then they can hand it out to all their NGOs, their friends, the Catholic Community Services. Go Google when Nick Shirley, you guys know Nick Shirley? Let me check if you guys know Nick Shirley. If you know Nick Shirley, he came out here before he got real famous with the Minnesota thing. He exposed that everything was going on, and then here, because of our local media is so intertwined with all these elections, they don't even barely cover it. So, you know, Project Veritas, he was out here. James O'Keefe, they did the Sheriff Nanos got money from the Biden organization to keep it quiet, right? Keep quiet. Just get these people into our country. The sheriff helped. He turned the other way. He was getting money, not him personally, his department, to protect these people at hotels. Go watch the videos. Type in Nick Shirley Tucson. James O'Keefe Tucson, Red Roof Inn. They were hired protect, and then they profited off of the illegal immigration, and then they say, you know, oh well, it's not our job to. They knew, and they instead of, you know, causing a big alarm and saying we got millions of people, we need to stop this, it's not right. They kept it going. Then they asked for more money. We're talking hundreds of millions of dollars. And then right at the end of Biden's administration, it was a mass push. Okay. So this has been happening forever, right? But it was a implemented system, in my opinion. And then right before Biden was getting out of office, if you notice, the money stopped. They closed down the facilities. We're not doing it anymore. And now you do not hear anybody in America talking about who's responsible for making that. That wasn't by accident. These people didn't come up in the millions by accident. It was planned. It was advertised. Come up to America now before Trump gets in the office, right? Because Trump is not he's going to close the border. So it was a mass push, and it was funded by local Democrats in here who went to Biden and said, we need money. And they funneled it right into the NGOs, Catholic Community Services. You can Google Catholic Community. It's still operating. They're still doing it. You remember this meeting we just watched, Andres Cano, he talked about the Sunnyside Foundation. They're into it as well. They have, an inside system here to basically keep this, this system going. And they don't have the same values as far as America. It's all about, pushing through illegal activities. You can see about how they don't enforce the law. So here in Tucson, you can go to any bus stop and you'll see 5 to 10 people smoking whatever. So that's why people say, oh, I need to go talk. I've been talking. If you've been on my YouTube a lot or my Facebook, that's who I'm reaching in Facebook. They all see it. They know. They don't care though. They know that they have the voters, 70% of them. They're old hippies. And then you got a whole bunch of like Democrat socialists. And then you have a whole bunch of like La Raza, like Lane Santa Cruz, radical activists, climate activists. And they basically have the voter base here in Tucson captured. And it's all based around these more progressive policies. So anything that they want to push, they have this voter, and whoever they want to get elected, they have the voter base to say, here's our new person. Here it is. So anybody who doesn't fit into that, like I don't fit exactly into it, even though, I don't mind putting some climate change money to it. But 160 million when we got, people dying on the streets every day. I think 160 million is a little too much. I think maybe 20 million, right? And then 140 million to our own people, right? But they put 100, so it's the lack of urgency because they want to keep the grift going. They want to keep this money train flowing to all their different organizations. So you got a whole mass amount of nonprofit organizations that are basically waiting for this money to come in because they know Romero and her friends are going to hand it to the climate activists. They're going to hand it to the Democrat socialists. And you don't hear anything about any opposition as far as enforcing the law. Just like with the Nancy Guthrie case, right? You don't even hear the city talking about it like it never even happened. Because they want to control the narrative. They want to get up and talk about TDS and we're going to go against Trump and the Doug Ducey flat tax. It's all controlling the narrative, and they must have some group text or some inside meetings where they plan it all because it's literally contrived. All their speeches are contrived. It's nothing from the heart. It's basically all just hey, let's prop up this person because we're going to give them money. We're going to be, so I've been doing this for years. And as far as where we're at today, I don't see it changing. You see how the Nancy Guthrie thing played out. Instead of being, accountable to the citizens and saying, hey, we're going to install more lights, right? Hey, what a concept, right? A light on a residential street for safety, right? Because we want our citizens to be safety. No, we're going to pass a dark sky week. Hey, I'm all for having a dark sky, right? But, when we got people that are literally, we have the highest pedestrian deaths in America as far as cars versus pedestrian, top 5 in America, because we don't have street lights. So they don't care. They would rather have a dark sky week, a dark sky ordinance, and they don't care how many people that we have the highest amount of people getting hit by cars, pedestrians. I haven't looked at the chat on purpose because it's just like I'm a little annoyed after watching that video and these people who think that they speak for America and our city, and they don't. It's very small percentage of people. And, the way I look at it is I don't know how many presidents that you guys have all had in your life, right? I'm sure some of them Some people in the chat have maybe been around since Nixon. Maybe even Kennedy. Maybe President Kennedy was your president when you were a kid. Maybe Jimmy Carter, whoever it was, right? You always will get a new president. So if you don't like this president, you're going to get another president one day. It might be someone you voted for. But why do you got to sit here and disrespect the office of America and then try to make us feel bad because we're respecting whoever the president is? I respected Biden when we had to all sit here silent knowing what he was doing. I wasn't, out there silent. And now, I'm looking at this where we got people on our city going up to the public and actually saying, "Oh, TD." I mean, it's just full dividing the country instead of bringing us together. Crime affects. It doesn't matter who you are. It could be any party. And so we have a major crime. We just had a major kidnapping. We got major upticks on youth violence, gangs, drugs, all this stuff. And did you hear one word about that today? It's all just gaslighting. You ever heard that word, gaslighting? Blowing smoke? They're all getting paid nice salaries, $100,000 a year or more. Kickbacks maybe once they retire. I mean, they just want to keep the money. They're not like change makers, right? Like, I mean, they don't go in and shake the trees. I'm kind of that kind of person. I go in and call things out for the truth. They will ignore things to pass their own political aspirations. So they basically will choose their party over the country, their duty to the country, because it's all about politics with a lot of these people. I could care less about politics. I'm about solutions. I have friends that are Democrats, radical Democrats, and we can have a conversation. But that doesn't mean that, I'm going to agree, they're going to agree, but at least we can talk. These people they won't talk. It's all about what they want to do to push over this agenda of climate activism. And then they get the voter base, right? Because we got the climate activists. So now whatever they want to push, they use those same voter base to push it. Now here what they're doing next is they're gonna try to take over our electric company. That's the next push. So we have the Democrat socialist Miranda Schubert here in Tucson. She just got elected. Our first Democrat socialist was elected here in Tucson. She's trying to take over our electric company now. So I'm going to end it there. That's where we're at in Tucson. I get what everybody, Nanos is about to retire. If he doesn't resign, he's retired. He doesn't really care. This is all when he's done. If he doesn't get, we got a bigger problem than just Nanos, people. We got a whole entrenched system that's controlled by Grijalva family, the mayor Regina Romero and her husband Ruben Reyes, Lane Santa Cruz, all these people, and then they use these organizations with hundreds of millions of dollars. It's intertwined even with Visit Tucson, our local tourism board money. The media is protecting it. I call it out on my Facebook, so I'm going to end it there. Follow me on Facebook. I post about this stuff for years. They've tried to get me shut down. They have demonetized my Facebook in the past by making false claims. So where we're at today is I'm just going to keep speaking the truth. Obviously, a lot of people agree with it. I get emails all the time. Great job. Keep it up. I'm not perfect. I'm not always 100%, correct on everything. I try to be, but I'm learning that, we need change. We need to come together. So thank you guys. I'm going to be back as soon as this comes and they're back live. I'm going to go with another stream. And that, I have a feeling they're going to talk about what they talked about in the executive decision or a meeting. So they're in that meeting now. They'll come out and then they're going to say, we've decided this in the executive meeting. That's what I think is going to happen. So I don't know if Nanos is going to be here, obviously. Somebody said maybe in 10 days. But thanks for listening. I went off on a little tangent at the end. I apologize to anyone I offended. I was not trying to offend anyone, just trying to, have a voice. And yeah, somebody says, why don't you speak up and speak more? They know what I'm saying. They have, everybody tells me, all the government elected, they read my post or they have somebody that shows them their post. Everybody sees it. They don't care though, because they're still going to get elected unless something huge changes and, an investigation happens like Nanos needs to happen with Adelita Grijalva and the Grijalva family. They're the ones who grifted America and set up this system of illegal immigration, and they pushed it like massive. And then they basically now are sitting back silent, acting like, oh, they have no accountability. They'll never admit until they are brought accountable. So I'll be back. Yep, lady, you are right. Thank you, Broken. So thank you. I missed some of these super chats. Howard, thank you. Reyes 2291, thank you. April, thank you so much. All right, everybody. I am gonna go get a little lunch, and then as soon as this comes up, okay, I'm not trying to offend anyone. I promise you. There's one person here I know that I know is offended, but I'm not trying to. I'm passionate like everyone else, and I've been watching these meetings for 2 years, and so. Anyway, I'm going to go get a drink and maybe some lunch, and we will chat in a little bit. Thank you all. As soon as this comes back, we will, media has their own narrative. Audrey, yeah, exactly. Nancy Grace said politicians cannot be held responsible. Exactly. And that's why the page, obviously, thank you, Alaska. Yeah, I'm not trying to offend anyone. I'm really just trying to educate, right? Educate, not hate. And if any one of them would sit down and talk with me, but they're so, it's like a wind-up doll for them. They have these talking points of, oh, you saw everything they read at the meeting last night is a prepared statement. Nothing they can ever just speak out of, because if they try to have a conversation, they just shut down. They just won't talk. Instead of talking it out, they just shut down. We're not, because they can't, because as soon as you're not on board with whatever their narrative is, they won't, like, I'm all for climate change, but 160 million, they just shut down. So that's the problem, is once people can start talking, and it doesn't matter if it's a Democrat, Republican, Green Party, purple, blue, pink, maybe pink. I haven't heard of a pink party. But anyway, you get what I'm saying is there's got to be sometimes Republicans and Democrats working together in the world. It can't just be all this and all that. Even right now, we see the division. So we're going to eventually see the pendulum is swinging back and forth. Here in Tucson, it just stays over here. Let's say on the left side. But in America, it swings back and forth, right? Because everybody wants to have a voice, right? But what if it just stayed over here on the left? That's what happens here in Tucson for 40 years, 50 years. And it was all designed now to keep it going over here with the planted candidates, they, you know, Adelita Grijalva takes over her dad's seat. It's so, all right, guys, I'll be back. Thank you, Safer, Petra, Priscilla, Brenda. Jesus is King, Dave says. Thank you. No, I'm not apologizing for what I'm saying, but I just apologize to anyone that's offended, if they're offended by it. But yeah, the main point is trying to keep the conversation going. A lot of people don't, like talking politics anymore because of it. Just people get pissed. Oh, I'm not going there anymore. Not me. I'll go in anywhere. You see me where I don't care. I'm here to have conversations. We're all people. We're not here to go. I'm not going to go to that restaurant because they got a Trump poster because, oh my God, it's horrible how people are being treated. There's actually lists here in Tucson that the locals created that don't go to this business because they support Trump. And they actually share these out with the locals. Don't go here, don't go. They're actually trying to hurt our local businesses based on who they voted for. I mean, I'm not kidding. Go to Reddit if you guys want they even have websites and stuff. A whole website you can go and it's ridiculous. It's sad with it's almost like a cult in a way. Like it's crazy. So I don't want to get off on another tangent, but you guys are awesome. Appreciate it. Thank you, Reyes again. Alaska Cake, everybody. B. Berry. Dana Fitz again. Thank you. Howard. I'll be back, guys. Enjoy your day. Take some deep breaths. Don't sweat the small stuff is one of the comments, I guess, but we'll just move on, flowing. Here we go, guys. I'll be back. Peace and love. Thank you, Kathleen. Thank you.